Honestly, I'm not an ITX fan, but every time we were testing top gaming laptops, there are always comments that the price is equals to an ITX and an Ultrabook. I think it's time to assemble an ITX. Next time, I will use this video to respond to such comments. Okay, today we brings the newest PUBG box for 0.0. The one and only purpose of the PUBG box series is to install the greatest and newest hardwares in a tiny box. Maybe you can guess about the specs today. Yes, i9 13900 and RTX 4090. Spoiler alert, this box can easily handle these two giants. We were fully prepared for today's test. Press likes and let's rock and roll. First, GPU. You already know the giant 4090. There are barely enough rooms for this tough guy, but we must consider where to arrange the CPU thermals, because 13900 is also needs strong thermals. Good news is that 4090 has a small PCB and we can use a split water cooling. But when we ran this test in late September, only OCool produced the 4090 heat dissipation, and it is only for the public version. Thanks to Colorful, they gave me their RTX 4090 Vulkan. Thermals issue is solved. As for other hardwares, thanks to Asus and Intel, they gave me the CPU and motherboard for free. Oops, the major three hardwares are all free. Please don't be too jealous. We need a thin and short RAM, so we chose SK Hynix's DDR5 5600 MHz. For SSD, we chose Jitai Ti Pro 7000 case, and power supply were hard to choose. First case. Text covers a wide range of cases, even a 30 liters one is included. But we need to find a real ITX case. Here is the ACAT X2 case, 14.3 liters. It supports two 280 radiators. 280 has a larger thermals area than that of 240, almost the same as the 360Es. Text case is short and wide, allowing 280 to make better use of space. For fans, we chose Thermalright B14E. Last, power supply. I was worried about this part. We searched all the available 1000W AFXL, but there was still a 2 cm gap due to our thermals design. We had to choose this AFX power supply, Cooler Master V850. We tested it before installed. It worked well at about 880W input power, so this is it. For CPU block, we chose XPX1U from OCool. The pump is 1U, also from OCool. It is tiny, but integrated with a reservoir, making us hard with liquid. The GPU block is also from OCool, with two radiators of OCool HPE 280. The thickness are 20mm and 30mm. Why don't we buy two radiators of 20mm, since the space is so constricted? You can type in your answers at the comments. We need to consider the compatibility of the two. It does have two areas, but that doesn't mean we can install two radiators smoothly. When you installing the GPU on the bottom, you can only install one radiator on the side. So when you put the GPU on the side, the radiator has to be installed on the bottom. You can't have both. But I want to say no to this design. A split water cooling can help us to install two 280 radiators. We thought that the case is 14 centimeters wide and IRO backplate is 4.5 centimeters wide. GPU will be 2.5 centimeters wide. If the CPU block didn't be on the motherboard, there will be 7 centimeters for the radiator and fans. But things went to a wrong way. The OCool CPU block is very charming, but it is 38 millimeters thick. And on top of that, the original backplate will widen the gap between GPU and motherboard. We can rotate the plate 180 degrees, however, except for the extension cable. The GPU is not compatible with the backplate and does not fit to the motherboard. We have to find another way, which is 3D printing. After tons of trial and errors, a customized backplate came out. The frosted texture looks very advanced and beautiful, as well as the gorgeous BIBA logo. I like it very much. Okay, let's start this project. We had trouble at the beginning. This OCool block adopted AIC public version, but AIC did some changes in PCB when manufacturing. This Vulkan is a victim, resulting in an incompatibility between the two. Besides, the screw holes cannot be aligned too. After we talked to OCool, they made a new block for us. Thank you, OCool! And they had changed their design. Now, the block can be fully compatible with Vulkan. But trouble kept coming. In order to leave enough space for the radiator, we chose XBX1U as the CPU block. Since its fittings are on the side, where do you have to remove to get the block installed around these barriers? Thermals? I/O shield? M2 SDD? At last, we combined the X super short fittings with an OCool connector and solved this problem. The CPU block is a little weird, like a crab. With only one SSD and two RGBs being optimized, I think it is acceptable. We designed that hot water from CPU block will come to GPU block directly. The GPU block will gladly embrace the warmth from upstream. After the GPU block, the twice heated water will be cooled down by the two radiators. The cooling water will then be pumped to the CPU again. He changed the design many times. Originally, we put one radiator between the CPU and GPU, but the water cannot be cooled down with just one single radiator, overheating the CPU and slowing it down. It is better to let the GPU suffer a little. The design was complete. We needed to verify the airtightness. But things went wrong again. The needle of the air pressure gauge didn't move at all. I was so sad. That was weird. If the airtightness is not good, then the needle will only rise and then slowly fall, not completely immobile. The answer is quite simple. It's a bad gauge. We need a new one. I'm kidding. I have to face the truth. We started to find out where the air was leaking. Finally, only CPU block was left unchecked. We started to worry that if that was the case, this test will be postponed. But the block was good. We were dumbfounded. So what went wrong? Finally, we figured it out. You have no idea. Like I said before, we combined a fitting with a connector. EC fitting has a shallow screw, but OCool connector has a deep thread, resulting in the rubber ring not making contact at all. So the air would leak. We need to do some trimming. We picked one lucky colleague to help us. When we took off the CPU block, we also found that the plastic film had not been removed. After that, we started to add water. We have also designed this session carefully. Remember that 30mm radiator, because it has symmetrical openings. It can help us to add water more easily. This will also make it easier for us to expel the air inside. We all know that the 13,900,000 generates a huge amount of heat. It could reach 100 degrees with a 360 water cooling in an open platform. You may worry that this case would become a bomb. We tested 13,700,000 before testing 13,900,000. No problem. CPU ran stably beyond 650W at dual stress test, so it can handle 13,900,000. But things went wrong again. 13,900,000 is too hot to handle. The first dual stress test, total consumption of CPU and GPU exceeded 750W. 13,900,000 exceeded 100 degrees within 2 minutes and slowed down. It's been a long way for us. We need to get through it. We did some adjustments when lowering the voltage to 1.6 volt. CPU stayed at 250W after 30 minutes dual stress test. The temperature was about 96 degrees. You can see this turbulent curve. We were adjusting the fan speed and room temperature. Fan speed was 2000 and temperature was 23 degrees. But dual stress test represents its limit. It's a test for thermals as well as the power supply. This result is just for your reference, and it proves our design worked for the 13,900,000 and RTX 4090 mix. Tough job. Please hit likes. Let's zoom in on the GPU temperature, only about 60 degrees. Really good! You may ask, why CPU has a higher temperature, since it has lower consumption than that of GPU? We need to focus on their layouts. 4090 is big. It has a larger area to transfer heat, as well as a larger area of thermal paste, facilitating the block to take away the heat. We can say that the bigger, the better. But for the smaller 13,900,000, there are bronze cap between cores and block, making it harder to transfer heat. CPU's consumption will drop to 100W when playing games. GPU is working in full load but easy to transfer heat. We don't need to increase the fan speed to stabilize the whole water cooling system. Games test. We additionally prepared an open platform with the same mix as a control group. Since the water cooling system takes up most of the time, we didn't test too much games, my apologies. But the performance of these games is representative. First, CSGO. The box reached 1014 and 843 Fs at 108p and 4000. We can see that the two sets of data are very close. Then, Dota 2. We replayed a battle in the game. The box reached 280 Fs at 108p, 284 Fs at 4000, pretty close. We can see that CPU was bottlenecked with 4090 GPU. Then, AAA games. First, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Under highest quality, the box reached 306 Fs at 108p, 174 Fs at 4000. We can see the gap at 4000 resolution. Then, Metro Exodus. The box reached 170 and 133 Fs at 108p and 4000. 4000 performance was not much different, but the box was behind by 29 Fs at 108p. At Forza Horizon 5, the box reached 190 Fs at 108p, 145 Fs at 4000. Significant gap. At Cyberpunk 2077, the box reached 218 and 79 Fs at 108p and 4000, same like the open platform. Even though the box's water cooling is very good, it still has a Fs gap with the open platform. We did some analysis. Even running Cyberpunk 2077 did not reach box's limits. CPU temperature was between 65 and 70 degrees. GPU temperature was only between 45 and 50 degrees. So what is limiting the performance of the box? After several checks, we thought it might be the RAM. This is the SK Hynix RAM 5600C32. At the open platform, we were using 6000C30. That's the difference. With limited room inside the box, we can't put shields on the RAM. We can't do RAM overlock too. However, considering that the GPU still has room for improvement, we boosted the GPU frequency through a plugin to reach 3000 MHz in the game. With same room temperature, we tested the box in Cyberpunk 2077 for half an hour. The GPU temperature reached 50 degrees, with power between 340 and 380W. Cool! Of course, the CPU reached 65 degrees. You may ask about noise? Yes, the fan speed reached 2000. Noise level is about 49 decibels. It was a bit shrill. But both CPU and GPU shares a low temperature. We can manually reduce the fan speed. When the speed was reduced to 800, we tested another half an hour. We can see the temperature rise a lot. 75 and 59 degrees respectively, but the noise level had dropped to 39 decibels, quiet like in a library. The split water cooling system enables the box to have excellent performance while keeping the noise level low. I'm very satisfied. After the game's test, we realized that there are still so many shortcomings. We didn't test any professional software, because I think it's dangerous to use ITX for work. It didn't break down during dual stress test and games test, but I still don't recommend working with it. Due to the COVID, consumers become conservative. Without any cost performance, ITX is not popular anymore. With this in mind, I feel very sad. Maybe this PUBG Box 4.0 is a swan song for me. Due to the time limit, we did not fully test out its limits. I hope we can make up for this regret in future tests. I hope we can all get back to normal and make more money, so that we don't have to be overly sensitive to price when we come across hardware we like. That's all for today. Please hit like and subscribe to our channel. It means a lot to us. If you want to interact with me every day, please follow us on WeChat official account. I will talk about a laptop there every day. This is BIBA Laptops. I'm Juan. See you next time.